Hey guys, we're in studio today because outside it is not the perfect Charleston-y Summerville day today that we're used to. It's a little overcast and rainy.
But we still have shorts on.
We do. It's still a nice temperature. So here's the title of this video, and I don't love the title.
No?
No. You tell them the title.
All right. I forget what the title.
Things we love and hate.
We love and hate about living
in Summerville.
In the Summerville, Charleston area, yeah.
So here's why I don't like it. I went through many, many discussions, and when my girls were about 4, Andrea told them we shouldn't say the word hate, and so I've been scolded by 4-year-olds many times from saying daddy.
Don't say that word, daddy.
We don't say that word, daddy.
Yeah.
Watch the language. There's children present.
Yeah.
But there are a couple things that, so I think hate's too strong, so we're going to say hate, but I don't hate him.
Yeah, no. There's nothing really
there's really nothing
here.
To hate.
And this is not the doom and gloom video that you might see on some other channels.
If my mother-in-law lived in here, there would be things to hate. There's things I would hate about living in Summerville, but she doesn't live here, so it's okay.
Why did you create mothers-in-law?
Yeah. So what is one thing that you hate?
Well, traffic.
Traffic.
Yeah, I mean, if you get on the neighborhood Facebook page, the local Facebook, first of all, y'all on Facebook, y'all nasty people. Like, you are grumpy, miserable. Y'all need some loving or something.
They call them keyboard warriors.
Yeah. They will complain about traffic in Summerville. And there is some truth to that. And there was more truth to it 5 years ago, I feel.
Yeah.
Because we've got a lot of projects. We just had the Berlin G Parkway deal open up recently.
Yeah.
So if you live over in the Ponds, Summers Corner, Horizons, over at the True Homes neighborhood, Homecoming, like you've got a much faster way to get back into Summerville now. So that's greatly improved. And the one that going over to your neighborhood that kind of stinks still is
State Road.
Yeah, State
176,
Road.
yeah.
It took me a long time to get to Mark's house one night. I was grumpy.
Jeff and I were talking on the live the other night, and I was saying when College Park went from 2 to 4 lanes, it drastically changed that whole parkway all the way down to 26. It was like nobody was on it when it went from 2 to 4 lanes. But when you looked back at the 2 lanes at the same time of day, it was unbelievably awful.
I can't imagine that. I don't remember that. I've been running these roads for 15 years now, but it's always been 4 as long as I remember. But I can't imagine when that was 2.
Yeah, and that's something else to say. Like, you've been here 15 years. I've been here 25 years. Have you ever once regretted your decision to move to South Carolina?
No. Listen, I've spent time in Atlanta. You've been around Boston, even Pittsburgh traffic.
Yeah.
Spent lots of time out in L.A. Like all these places that anybody ever complains about traffic, I say, go to this city for 12 minutes and you'll shut up about traffic here.
I would say anybody coming from the Northeast,
oh, it's got to be better.
They're going to be like, this isn't traffic.
Yeah. I get from where I live in Carnes to get down to Target, Walmart, that kind of. I will get held up sometimes at a light or two coming down Main Street.
Yeah.
At the right time of day.
Yeah.
But in general, I just don't think it's that bad. Now, if you live in Summerville and you work in Charleston, that's a different conversation.
Right. And some people still do, like my son Riley. He works all the way downtown at the Shawn Jenkins Children's Hospital, and he goes at night. So it's not a big deal, right? Because he's going against traffic.
I just had a squirrel moment.
Client
just walked by the door, waved. I'm like, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. Should I? Okay.
Now they're going to watch it.
Yeah, I know. It got me all screwed up.
But the reason people move here is the lifestyle, right?
Yeah. And the lifestyle is fantastic down in Charleston, and the fantastic lifestyle has moved out here to Summerville also. Now, all that being said, if like Mark says, if you're a 9-to-5er and you're going downtown, then it's a conversation we're going to have.
Right.
But I feel like the lifestyle that is far outweighs any of the downsides. Are we going to knock out more downs?
Let's keep going on the
negative.
Downs. All right, let's talk about hurricanes. Everybody's asking about hurricanes.
Yeah.
That's one of our most asked thing. Hey, I don't want to move to Florida because of all the hurricanes. We still get hurricanes.
Yeah.
But
it's it's been in 15 years. I was a big baby. The first time when I came down, with the first one that was rolling through, I'm like, oh,
1999.
We're all going to die.
Yeah.
And I left for a couple tropical storms that came to Charleston, and then I realized there was like nothing happened.
Yeah.
Now listen, Hugo came through here, 40 years ago, whatever it was, and it was a monster. And people lost power for weeks at a time. But I feel like even the infrastructure here is vastly different now than it was then. Everything's underground in these neighborhoods, and I just don't feel like we're at the risk that we used to be. And in general, Summerville is 50, 60, 70 feet above sea level.
Yeah.
In the different neighborhoods. And so the vast majority of Summerville is in an X flood zone, which is what you want.
And we're far enough inland that the winds aren't as huge of a deal here as they are on the east side of Highway 17, let's say, right? West Ashley, the islands, Johns Island, James Island, Kiowa Island, Seabrook Island. All of those places are going to get the brunt of the storms most of the time.
Yeah, there's evacuation zones set up.
Yeah.
So is it 1, 2, 3 or ABC? I think it's letters.
Letters, yeah.
Yeah. So they'll call for an evacuation of Zone A or Zone B or everything sometimes. In Karnes, I'm not in an evacuation zone. We're outside of the limits, at least unless they've changed them. Last time I looked.
No, I think we still are. Both Cane Bay and Karnes is, but we're later on. Like we're not immediate.
I just made that up. I'm what the heck? I'm in an evacuation zone. I'm moving out of this godforsaken place.
It's not like that though, right?
Yeah,
15 years. You've left once.
Yeah, and I shouldn't have. I didn't need to.
Yeah,
at all. We got 25 inches of rain here last fall,
which was way more than the East Coast. Down by Charleston and all that.
Oh yeah.
We got way more rain, and that's just because of the way the storm came in.
It was coming in from middle of the country.
Yeah.
And yeah, wasn't it?
No, it came from I guess it kind of did. It came up the coast.
Can we just agree I have no clue what I'm talking about?
But it came from the south coming north.
Yeah.
And it kind of cut across Florida.
Yeah, but not in from the ocean.
No.
Like a hurricane would.
Yeah, so 1989, I think it was, Hurricane Hugo devastated South Carolina all the way up to Summerville here.
Yeah.
They had power for no power for 3 weeks, I think, was the big one. So the chance of a big one, of course, is there.
Yeah.
But that was 1989. It's 2025.
I considered putting a generator in my house, and after I looked into it and seeing the cost of the generator, I decided, especially after being here for 15 years, I looked at this recently. There's no scenario I'm putting a generator in my house. If the monster ever was coming, I'll just leave for a week.
And generators aren't cheap, right? You can buy a generator for under $10,000.
Yeah.
But then you got to put it in. You have the maintenance agreements.
Yep.
All of that stuff. So you're looking $15,000 to $20,000.
It was going to be close to 20 when I ran like a 10-year evaluation of what the thing was going to cost me. It was going to be much closer to 20 grand.
And I would do that if I lived in West Ashley. I would not do that if I lived in Summerville.
Yes, I agree.
And kind of what we're hitting on here in this video is Summerville is kind of the perfect place all around. There's all different areas to live in across South Carolina, up at Myrtle Beach or up in the upstate, which, by the way, we have somebody that covers the upstate.
Yep.
Some of our team covers Myrtle Beach now.
Yep.
We've got somebody down in the Beaufort area. So no matter where you're looking, you can come through us, and we're happy to help you in all of those areas. Just know there's probably more risks in those other areas than there is in Summerville.
And that brings up another potential downside, which is the cost of real estate in Charleston.
Yeah.
Where I feel like the cost of real estate is a great value for the whole package that you get here with the lifestyle that most people enjoy here. There are cheaper places in the state to live.
Oh, yeah.
You can be up in Conway, up towards Greenville, closer to the mountains. But I don't feel like they have the full package with beaches and the touristy spots and the restaurants and the lifestyle and the parks and the family stuff to do. And I feel like this is more, and with that is going to come some more cost. Mm-hmm. And, could you find a house that's $100,000 less and still be in South Carolina? Absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, you can get a 2,600 square foot house we're about to list up in the upstate.
Yeah.
And that's only going to be for $369 or something.
Yeah, and that would be $100,000 more.
Pretty much
if it was here in this market.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else is bad?
Bugs and alligators.
Bugs and alligators,
That's a big question we always have.
All right, listen. I never lie to you people. Sometimes I make stuff up, little white lies, but never black lies. I used to say, like, there's never these big alligators in the neighborhoods. There was just a big boy living in Carnes.
We're going to try to show that on the screen.
Okay, yeah.
The
And he got a little nosy. He didn't have an attitude. He was very nice. But he got a little nosy when it comes to getting up close to houses.
He was like in between their air conditioner and the house, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's when people are like, okay, this is
Yeah.
a little too close for comfort.
Yeah, when the police showed up and they were like encouraging him to move over towards the lake, back to the lake.
Yeah.
But he went away, and they didn't even kill him. They took him off to a very happy place where alligators.
Did they take him off? I saw him go in the pond. They did actually.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
they removed him about 3 days later.
3 days later.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
There's alligators in these lakes and ponds. Not in all of them, but you just have to kind of live with the thought of there could be an alligator in that pond.
Yeah.
Don't tickle them.
Have you ever seen that video that whether you know whether or not there's alligators in the water in South Carolina?
I did see that.
Yeah. So we'll maybe we can throw up a little clip of that too.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
The lady goes down and puts her hand in the water.
Yep.
You do this. If it's wet and there's water, there's probably alligators in it.
How you can tell they got gator in that water. So you go, come down a little more. Come on down to the water, Any body of water, it don't matter which body of water it is, you just go to that body of water. And this how you go know. You grab that water like that, and you pick up some and you do like that. If that water wet, it's got gators in it. That's how you know they got gators in that water in Louisiana.
So don't, take a walk along the river or along the water with a chicken hanging out of your belt.
Through the tall grass.
Through the tall grass and walking little Fluffy, little Chihuahua dog. And
don't feed them chicken.
Yeah, don't feed them chicken. Don't tickle them. Don't try to take a selfie. Listen, I feel like there's somebody out there right now that needs to hear this. Don't take a selfie with an alligator.
I saw a news article recently where the kids were laying on the ground 5 feet from an alligator, trying to take a selfie with the alligator.
What? Some people's kids.
I'm going to try to find that.
That's a parent fail. That's not the kids. That's the parent's fault.
Right. All right, what about home insurance?
Oh, it's been going up. Yeah. I when I moved here...
And there's a state to blame for this.
Yeah. As much as we love our friends in Florida, but y'all kind of screwed us in this deal. I mean, insurance is a national number. So... XYZ Insurance Company operates in Florida and they operate in Maine and California. And so it's a shared pool of money. And so what affects one state negatively affects the rest of the country. And I feel like Florida's been beaten up so much that we're seeing a little bit here.
And I feel like you know a little bit about this because you were in the insurance business kind of.
I was, right? Yeah. And Andrew was a claims adjuster for Nationwide Insurance.
Yeah. So if anybody knows, you know.
Andrew, one time, she went out, so we have twins, and her belly, when she was like 8 months pregnant and she was still working, she grew out of my shirts, man. She was big. Mama was big, and like I had to rescue her one day. I came home, and she was stuck on the couch. I do. I love my baby. She was stuck on the couch like a turtle that got flipped over. She could not get up. I had to come home from work to get her. She was mad that day. She's like, I want these babies out of me. Anyway, she showed up at a guy. At a house with a ladder.
Oh, I thought you were going to say at a house with a guy.
No, we don't have the pineapple lifestyle in our family. She showed up and she was still working. She was 8 months pregnant, and the guy looks at her just like, how many are in there? Like not, oh my God, you're pregnant. But like how many, like she knew, or the guy knew there was clearly more than one baby up in there.
That's amazing.
Yeah. All right. So my insurance when I moved here, it was like $1,100. And I'm up to, I just creeped over 2,000 now.
I think I'm up to 1,800.
Yeah.
Is what I
And so,
saw.
My home is 3,000 square feet. I'm in one of these neighborhoods. I live in Carnes. So it's gone up, but it's not our fault, really. It's Florida. I don't want to name names, but it's Florida. And so home insurance has been going up here.
Yeah. But it's not crazy like we would see in Florida. And the good thing about the home insurance is most of these neighborhoods, like you talked earlier, you want to be in an ex-flood zone.
Yeah.
We don't need the flood insurance.
Yes.
No, as Jeff always says, as your realtor, we're going to say it's always a good idea to have flood insurance.
Yeah.
But me and Jeff and I, don't have flood insurance.
Nope.
In our homes.
And if you wanted it, it's $400 to $600 on most of the homes that we sell.
In Summerville. Now, if you go down to Charleston, we had or Mount Pleasant, I had a townhouse, and it was almost $7,000.
Wow. Yeah.
but it was right on the bay. The
Yeah, I
creek.
mean, you're paying for the view and
Yeah.
and all that, but there are some flood zones in Summerville. So
Yep.
over on the Dorchester roadside, we had a lot of houses flooded on over there, but most of the neighbors that we're dealing in, the Horizons, the Legend, over in Homecoming, most of all of those are in ex-flood zones. And we'll tell you, if you come into town and say, I want to see 123 Main Street, we're going to let you know that before we even show you the house. And you might just say, nah, it's not for me.
All right, I've got the perfect topic to talk about that segues both.
All right.
So it's a wishbone topic.
Okay.
There's bad to it and there's good to it.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna. What are your bad parts of the taxes here?
Oh, vehicles, toys, vehicles and toys. Yeah. There's a property tax on your vehicles here. So the nicer the car you drive, the more it's worth, the more you pay. So Andrea's minivan this year was $325-ish.
Okay.
And then my Hyundai, which was new this year, was closer to 500.
Yeah, I think mine was closer to 500. I have a 2023 Nissan Armada.
And I pay, since my golf cart is an LSV, it was 125, I think, on the golf cart. And then I was in the 200 and some dollar range on the Polaris Slingshot. And then I just added the girls. I added their car, and I forget what it was, but it was a couple $100 because it was a much more inexpensive car. So you do get hit on a boat, on a boat motor. If it's an outboard, there's actually a separate tax for the boat motor.
Yeah.
So clearly that's the bad, and I know where you're going with the good.
Yeah. So the good is obviously the property taxes here, right? We talked to somebody in New York that was paying $14,000 a year.
Yeah.
$14,000 a year in taxes. And I think, Jeff, your house was bigger, and you pay, what, $3,500?
No. I was $2,200 this year. Yeah.
$2,200.
I'm 22 on a 3,000 square foot house.
Yeah.
The most that we typically see is 3,500, and that is in Dorchester County, which is higher than Berkeley.
Yep.
And that's in a neighborhood that's going to have a close to $1,000 community development fee. So we're just kind of including that as one of the taxes.
And the other, I guess, bad side to the insurance is if this is not your primary property.
Yes.
You kind of get little nudge with
Yeah,
the knife there.
yeah,
as
it's a
well,
big
right?
nudge. It's almost triple. So that's the downside. If this is a second home or an investment property, your taxes are going to be almost triple what they would be as a primary residence.
But let me just note that's still less than $14,000 in New York.
That's right.
So
Yep.
you know,
We had one lady from Jersey that was when she asked me the house, I said it's $1,800 for the taxes, and she said, "Oh, a month." And I said, "No, it's a year. It's $1,800 for the year."
she says you lie.
Yeah, she made me show her. I had to pull it up online and show her the tax records to show her that it was. She was just absolutely shocked. So even if it was triple, and if it was $6,000 for her, it was less than half of what she was paying up in Jersey for her primary.
Yeah. All right, let's talk a little bit more about the reason 90% of the people move here. The lifestyle, the sunshine that we have, the live, work, and play communities that we have, like where we're sitting right here in Nexton.
Yeah.
We could choose to live in Nexton if we wanted to, and drive, less than 5 minutes to work. I think you have 12 minutes to work. I have 17.
Yep.
Something like that. So there's tons of communities right around where we're living. And I
it
love
was
it.
weather for me. That was the biggest. That was the biggest first piece. I don't know where you're watching this from, but Pittsburgh is just gray. It's gray
All the time.
skies
Massachusetts
every day.
too. Yeah.
It's gray all the time.
Yeah.
And I never realized how much it affected me to not be in the sun.
It affects your emotions. It affects your state of mind, your mentalness.
Yep.
There's so much to that. When you move here, you just find happier people, I feel like. And
listen, there's bad with it, because in August it's freaking hot here. It's
tell them about the first summer you were here.
it was an exceptionally hot summer that year. We had a heat index for 2 weeks that was close to 110 every day for 2 weeks, and I thought, my God, what did I do? Listen, I ain't no little guy. I'm going to die. It is so hot. Like I was mowing the grass in Pittsburgh. But now, if I was mowing the grass in Pittsburgh and it was 75, I was dying.
Yeah.
I have absolutely become climatized. I'm out there now, 90 degrees. It's gorgeous.
Nothing, right?
It's nothing.
Yeah.
So in your first year or two here, you're just going to do stuff inside, which is, for a lot of our clients, why it's so great to be in these neighborhoods that, in the 55 pluses, if you're looking into that have all the inside stuff to do that's all air conditioned.
And on the flip side of that, December and January, the first 5 years I lived here, I didn't have a coat.
Yeah.
Like I didn't need a coat.
Yep.
After the first winter, I'm like, I'm throwing all these coats out except for one.
Yeah.
Because I was in shorts in January several times. I remember.
You're going to lose some friends on Facebook. You're going to make some people mad because when you're boating in January and you're golfing in December and February and you put that on Facebook, the people up that are still up north, they do get a little grumpy sometimes.
Yeah. The other big reason as far as fitting in with lifestyle, two of them you just talked about, being able to boat and golf all year long.
Yeah.
Maybe January is the coldest month.
Yeah.
You might not be out boating or golfing because there's a little bit of a freeze warning in the morning, and they don't want you stepping on the greens and all of that. But there's also all kinds of family stuff that you can do around here, right? You just recently bought some passes over to Magnolia, right?
Yeah. It was.
Tell them what Magnolia is.
So Magnolia Plantation, it's over on the Dorchester side of Summerville. It's not technically in Summerville. It's over the line, but gorgeous plantation. They've got a house that you can tour, gardens that if you're into horticulture, there's my biggest word of the day. This place is absolutely amazing. It's along the river. There's a tour, like a tram tour that goes out through the rice fields, and a snake crossed the path in front of our cart. We were on last time, and the guy, I didn't know what kind of snake it was. All snakes are evil to me. I'm terribly terrified of snakes.
They're not all evil. Like the black king snakes,
dude,
kill the other ones.
I don't care. I'm still scared.
Don't kill the black one.
I'm not killing anything. I'd have to get too close to him to go kill him. The guy jumps off the tram and he goes and scoots it in its butt. If do snakes have butts? I don't know. He scurries it off the path, and we kept going through. But alligators and birds and cranes, and it's a gorgeous area. We bought a season pass. It was really cheap, and we can even I can take you with me.
Oh,
yeah, I can take a guest every time I go.
How long have you had that pass?
Don't worry about that. They have a petting zoo. And so the kids love that. Andrea, you want to? If my wife's having a bad day, take her to a petting zoo. That's all it takes. Give her a cute little fluffy animal to pet. She's happy.
So, the other things that our family, sometimes we go up to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah,
it's only 2.5, 3 hours to North Myrtle Beach.
Yeah,
maybe 2.5 hours to the South Myrtle Beach, Myrtle's Inlet. We go up and did the lights.
Brook Green
Gardens.
Yeah.
Night of 1,000 Candles.
Yep.
That was amazing. So you can either go north, you can go 2 hours south.
Yep.
I found out something. You can take an Amtrak from here down to Savannah in an hour and 47 minutes.
Yep.
And then you can come back that same night.
I've considered doing it. We've taken the Amtrak north. Mm-hmm. We took the Amtrak up to Buc-ee's to have lunch in Florence one day. We took the Amtrak to Florence, got an Uber over to Buc-ee's, had lunch, took the Uber back to the train station. I left at like 9 in the morning. I was back at 7 o'clock at night. But you can also go south, like you said, down to Savannah. That'd be a fun trip. We could do that.
Yeah, we should do that.
But in Myrtle, for instance, as locals, we don't go to Myrtle in July and August. Dude. It's stupid there. But we go in the off season and just go sit and stare at the ocean. Like Andrew and I can go get a room on the ocean, nice balcony looking out over the ocean, $69, $79 a night at a decent hotel, and just sit and stare at the ocean for a couple of days. You're 5 hours to Atlanta. Charlotte's close. We've got a great amusement park up by Charlotte for the kids. Andrew takes the girls up there every summer. I still haven't been there yet. It's just my schedule didn't allow me to go, but there's that. Beaufort, we took a boat ride down to Beaufort on the Intercoastal one time, stayed overnight at a hotel down there. It's a great centrally located tourism destinations all around you. 6 hours to the Mouse, Universal, SeaWorld,
Cruises?
6 hours to Port Canaveral. So we do cruises 3 times. And I'd like to apologize to you, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I know I've cost you a lot of money.
You
because
sure have.
before you and I started working together, you guys really weren't cruisers.
No, we went on a couple, and we were like, and then you kept talking about all this stuff, and I think at that point we had only been on Carnival cruises, and you're like, if you go on this Royal, it's amazing. Now thousands of dollars later.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, thanks.
Please come here and buy houses to support our cruise problem. You're helping.
And then, so if Jeff, is Summerville the place to be if you want to have feet in the sand on the beach every day?
Yeah, no, not unless you're okay with a 35, 40-minute ride. Yeah. Isle of Palms is, 35, 40 minutes. Folly's probably a little bit longer than that. And so Summerville, now if you're going down off, like I wouldn't want to go down on a Tuesday at 8 o'clock in the morning and take that ride. It's going to stink.
Right.
Because you're fighting all the traffic to get there. So Summerville is not great if you're total beach bums. We've got great options for you here. Obviously, we work in the entire market, so we've got great options for you. But just realize that, from the same house in Summerville that costs $500 is going to cost $900 in Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
And you're probably sitting in a flood zone.
In South Carolina, the reason I wanted to move here, was my mom was here, but at the same time, I wanted to be close to the beach.
Yeah.
Since the 25 years I've been here, you know how many times I've been to the beach?
Yeah, like 6, 10.
10, 12 tops that I can think of.
We're probably down at Folly or Isle of Palms once a year.
Yeah, I don't even go once a year.
And it's never just our family.
Yeah.
It's because we've got somebody in town visiting, and we do a beach day.
Or you go over to Mount Pleasant on Shem Creek and take people out to dinner and watch dolphins and all that.
I've got 100% success rating of seeing dolphins while having lunch or dinner at Shem Creek. I'm telling you, it's 100%. I know you're doubting me. I've seen dolphins every single time. I saw a dolphin one time getting freaky with another dolphin.
Don't go there. This is a family channel.
It was amazing.
All right, so we're gonna touch on home prices next, but I want to tell people, if you want to talk more about this stuff, down in the description, click on the link. You can book a Zoom call with us. We'll jump on there with you, with one of our team members. You'll have 3 people to ask questions about. We love doing Zoom calls. So down in the description, you have that stuff. So let's talk about home prices.
Yeah.
So home prices, like you just talked about, on the coast is higher, $900 million in Mount Pleasant.
For sure.
I think the average in Mount Pleasant now is like $950 or something like that. Last week we looked at stats here in Summerville. The median home sale price was more in the 400s. Mm-hmm. So that's $500,000.
Yeah.
If you want to be in the beach every day, you're going to have to pay that $500,000 more.
Yeah.
If you only have to be at the beach 10, 12 times in 25 years like me, once a year like Jeff, you want to be in Summerville because that's where the bang for your buck is.
Absolutely. And a lot, now maybe this is some people prefer the older 80s feel houses, and we don't have a ton of that in Summerville.
It's a couple parts of Summerville, but not many. You're right.
But down there, the majority of it is older. Some people do like that older vibe of home. And trust me, we make more money when we sell you those. I'm happy to sell you homes down there. That's not a problem at all. But just with the bang for your buck and what you're getting out here in Summerville, with the new roads that are coming, the new schools that are opening and have already opened, the next and the number one master plan community in the country a few years ago, all the restaurants that used to be in Charleston that have all moved out to Summerville now, the parks, the biking trails, I'll tell you, a big deal for me is the golf cart ability. I really like to be able to go to the stores and go out to eat and go to the grocery store by golf cart, and that's a big piece of what a lot of our clients like too, and we're full of that here in Summerville.
If you want to watch some of those golf cart videos, check out a couple weeks ago on our channel. We've done about 6 golf cart videos next in Carnes and Cane Bay, so check those out for sure. But I think we'll end there. I mean, home prices are a big thing. We are in the sweet spot for sure. Mm-hmm. Don't forget about our Tuesday Night Lives. We do this kind of thing Tuesday night, and we invite you into the conversation. So you can comment, and we'll throw your comments and questions up on the screen. So definitely check us out on that.
Last thought, seriously, if you ever have the chance to see dolphins go at it at SeaWorld, you need to see that. It's unbelievable.
I'm stopping this video right now.
We'll see you all in the next one.
See ya.